Now therefore there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law one with another. Why do ye not rather take wrong? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? This is 1 Corinthians 6 and 7, King James Version, the Holy Bible. A lot of people would look at this scripture and go, boy, I don't know if I could do that. If somebody wronged me badly enough, I would definitely have to put them in front of a judge. Well, there's two other places in the Bible. One says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And number two, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, not as they have done unto you. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, there's this huge firestorm out there now about the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, saying that in an NBC interview, quote, of course Trump lost. And many people think, well, that's it. He's on the Democrat side. Not the case at all. Mr. DeSantis did not say that Biden won legitimately. It's just that, quote unquote, he won, asterisk. And that's it. And what if I told you that Donald Trump himself has already admitted this? I have video of it, and I'm going to share this. I'm sure you would have not seen it because it wasn't really meant for public consumption, but he himself conceded quite some time ago. Now, he didn't say that it was a righteous win, but that this was the case. Now, real quick, as always, just want to be diligent, be thankful. Let everyone know that if you've joined us over at the Florida Monkey Patreon channel, how appreciated you are. You are making an enormous, enormous difference in my life. Over there, the videos are very different, and we're going to have a very, very different one coming up in the next 24 to 48 hours, probably by tomorrow evening for sure. It will be up, and it's going to be something that's going to probably challenge a lot of preconceived notions and make a few people uncomfortable, but it is the truth. It is the reality. If you really want to talk about a conspiracy, if you want to talk about a plot, you might want to check this out. Lowest allowable level, $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. You get a 10% discount, fully refundable, first 90 days, no questions asked. Would love to have you over there. There's a $5 level as well. If you want to, it's whatever you can afford, that's fine. We're also going to be on the 22nd of August we're going to be drawing 2 names out of a hat. Everybody gets 1 entry, everybody at the Patreon channel. And we're going to be sending out the last 2 known in existence Florida Maki coffee mugs. One side says Masters of the Mind, the other side says Destroying the Illusion. It's, of course, black and gold. It's got the wreath and star, and it has Maki in the middle. Now, those of you who think that I'm using scripture sideways to try to promote Governor DeSantis, I'm not. What Governor DeSantis is saying is exactly what Trump said. But of course, as always, I know I'm going to hell. Got my little house all reserved, so you don't need to remind anyone. Now, also another quote, if the election is not about January 20, 2025, but January 6, 2021, or what document was left by the toilet at Mar-a-Lago, if it's a referendum on that, we're going to lose. Now, this is over at Instagram. Ball State Teachers College made this perfectly succinct. Of course they cheated, so of course he lost. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Now, let's listen to Donald Trump in his own words.
Oh. First on T, 45th President of the United States.
45th and 47th.
47th. Yes, I love that. Mr. Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump National.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. What an easy game.
Now, what did he say? 45th and 47th. Right there, in an unguarded moment, he said, I was the 45th president, I'm not the 46th president, and I will be the 47th president. That's pretty much exactly what Governor DeSantis said. Besides, for the last whatever has gone on, 2021, 2023, who do you want to blame? The President of the United States, which is whom? Of course, Joe Biden. Of course, Trump lost the election, 2020 election. DeSantis says after years of hedging. He's never hedged about how they won, and I have a great analogy for you. Who knows who this is? Who knows who this is? This is Barry Bonds, guy that was infamous for all of a sudden just knocking him out of the park. And he got really big, really strong, really fast, and a lot of people said, hey, wait a minute. This guy's doping. This guy's on steroids. But they never, there was no test. They had tests for steroids, but not the one he was using. See, this is the key. He found a way to take something that was actually in a cream and beat the tests because of what the type of steroid he was using. They had not developed a test for yet. The Democrats found a way using little games where there's no safeguards in place to manipulate 2020 and got their guy in. Now, there are new rules in place going into the next election. Dozen states or more, tightened up all of their voting regulations, all of their voting laws. These drop boxes, these mailing out of blank ballots, all that's done. All that is done. And that's going to make a huge difference. Now, that doesn't change who the president is. Just because Governor DeSantis said that, of course, he lost, he didn't say he lost righteously. And he didn't make any statement about who did or who didn't cheat. The facts are the facts. That's how history is recording it now. And this is the key. We know that Barry Bonds was taking this. Have the Giants had to go back and amend their record and say, okay, no, since technically we had a cheater, we lost this game, we lost this, take away every home run that he ever hit during those times? No. They haven't gone back and they haven't redone anything. But believe me, the future is probably going to read that there was a controversy. And they're going to put an asterisk by Joe Biden's name in the future. And they're not going to overturn it completely, but there will be some issues saying that there was, while at the time, they have a new weasel word. There's a new weasel word out there. This is New England Patriots as well. Here's their it's actually a weasel phrase. Ready? Outcome determinative fraud. This is part of the Erie doctrine, which basically states that if there's a controversy in some type of issue at law, where there's a discussion about federal law being applied or state law being applied, if for sure the difference will change the outcome, then you always defer to state law. So this is the new, and it's of course in the indictment of Mr. Trump, spreading lies that there had been outcome determinative fraud. You see, they have to say it this way because even Jack Smith has to admit that they can't rule out any fraud, but they're saying that they had no proof of outcome determinative. You see, neither do they. And that's why this is all going to go by the wayside. Because if you say that you don't know, that there was absolutely no fraud, then you are admitting that you don't know the extent to which there was fraud. You see what I'm saying? When they say that we can't ever guarantee that there will be zero fraud, then what you're saying is that you will never know the amount of, because if you could ever quantify it, then you could say it. Then you would say, well, we know about every single instance of fraud. We have a grasp of it. We know exactly how much it was, and we know that it wouldn't have changed the outcome. You see, they can't say that. So that's how they don't know. It's kind of a double negative in that sense. But of course, you're going to see the ultra right wing try to make this some type of a statement that DeSantis is really against Trump and blah, blah, blah. Why does Mike Pence get a pass? I guess that's my question. Maybe if Mike Pence was polling in double digits, Who remembers last November when in some polls DeSantis had passed Mr. Trump in a couple of different ones? And then all of a sudden, the left started to roll out these indictments. See, this isn't about, and a lot of people are going to get mad at this, this isn't about Mr. Trump, it's about DeSantis. The left's not stupid. They weren't going to charge the guy. They weren't going to do a dang thing to him until after the election, but they saw DeSantis. They saw DeSantis rising. And they're like, you know what we need? We need to put Trump back on. We need to put Trump back on the ballot. We need to put him ahead of DeSantis because we really are afraid of 8 years. Think about it this way. 4 years of Trump or 8 years of DeSantis from the perspective of a liberal. Think about it that way. Let's say you're a liberal. Let's say you're a Democrat. Okay? And you have a choice. 4 years of Trump or 8 years of DeSantis. Of course, they're going to choose 4 years of Trump. Of course. And that's why they did all this. It was right after DeSantis started winning polls that they started rolling out all of these indictments. So, I'm just going to say it. This is the case because he's young. You know, there's also that argument too. I don't know that it's a good idea that anybody who's 80 years old be sitting in that type of an office, no matter who they are. And that's not an indictment of Trump's policies, or Trump's history. It's just that he's 80 years old. You know, we don't, what if he had a Mitch McConnell moment? Anybody at that age, at any time, can have something just go haywire upstairs, and that can be that. I mean, it's not a risk you want to take. So, I will leave it there. But there's 3 Bible scriptures that back this up. This idea of just letting the wrong be the wrong and let God have his day. Let God have his... There's an old song by Johnny Cash and Hank Williams Jr., that old wheel is going to roll around once more, and when it does, it's going to even up the score. Don't be weak. As they sow, they shall reap. Turn the other cheek and don't give in. That old wheel will roll around again. In fact, there's another scripture there. If a man striketh you on the cheek, give him the other. So, I will leave it there. God bless. Would love to have you over at Patreon if you can help support the channel. It's making a huge, huge difference. You guys are absolutely amazing, and we're going to have a brand new video by the latest, like I said, tomorrow night. We'll have it up. So God bless. Pray for each other, lift each other up, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.